I think, are we live?
I don't know.
This isn't, oh, here's starting our preview. Okay, I guess we're good. All right, I think we are now live. So welcome back, everybody.
Oh, here's starting our preview.
Oh, no. Wow, people get to see our little gooberiness. How's that? We're still trying to actually figure out how.
Of the day.
Wait a minute, I was talking, you little bum.
Give us a picture.
Nope, not right now, it doesn't anyway.
What's the point of it?
So, what's the point of what? Your unicorn of the day? I don't know. Sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't do it.
Gold. I want to do.
Do you want to do gold one? Well, you'll have to see what I tell you we're gonna do.
Pink one? There's a pink chain.
Hey, did somebody put a quarter in you today or something?
I think so.
Okay, I think you're gonna have to work hard to stay on task. Can you do that?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so welcome to everybody who is joining us. This is episode 5 of our summer series. We'll be here again on Thursday, and today there's going to be a lot of noise because construction is still going on in this stupid remodel of mine. So you guys might hear like the different, oh, what have they got going up there? Drills and saws, although I think they might be done sawing. Maybe, I don't know. I just know I'm over it. But after today, I will have a hood that goes over my stove, which won't be here till next week. Speaking of next week, the girls and I are going to different parts of the country. So the girls are going to go down to Las Vegas and hang out.
You have to promise to call us.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess I should do that.
You have to.
I promise.
Are they ahead of time?
Are they ahead of
Where
time?
you're going?
No, I will be ahead of you by 2 hours because they're behind us by an hour.
Okay, so then you might want to call us.
Okay, I'm sure we can work that out.
Because if it's late for us, like 9, then...
You know what I'm doing next week?
11 for you.
Guess what I'm doing next week?
What? Running away from us?
No.
Got a point.
But, hey Brian, welcome. And Pepe Tools is on too, so hello Pepe Tools.
I'm selling this, it's $5 plus shipping.
Okay, we were having a conversation. Remember what I said about staying on task? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna go take an advanced stone setting class with a man whose name is Blaine Lewis. He's like amazing at teaching.
All the amazing people.
I do get to work with a lot of
How
amazing
old
people.
is he?
I don't know.
Like a billion?
No, he's probably about my age or so, maybe a little older.
Other review, you get to work with Lindsay.
I know, I get to work with all the cool people.
Last chance.
Last chance?
Unicorn of the day.
So anyway, so I will be gone next week. Stop. Oh, stinker. I will be gone next week doing an advanced stone setting class, and then the girls will be off doing their own thing, playing around with the puppy.
Yep.
Oh, that was so
Donnie.
cute.
Yes. All right. So we won't be here next week, but we will be here on Thursday. So today, we've been trying to figure out what to do for today's little workshop with each other. And I have decided to issue the girls a challenge.
Ooh, a challenge.
Yes. So let's see if we can. Why does this not go? There we go. I don't know what its thing is. So you guys.
1 sec.
No, not 1 sec. Come here. Oh my gosh. I think we should give her meds. So this is a packet of, yes, of rings that my friend sent to us. They actually sent to you guys. There are several different sizes of rings, and I want to say that the rings are niobium.
There's gold.
Okay. And then she also sent eyelets, and there's some fun little shapes in here. And that's about the gist of that. Okay, so you've got some rings, some eyelets.
I already chose my ring.
Listen, well, you can't have all the pink ones because there's not enough. And I also have, so I went over to Harbor Freight. They used to sell copper washers in this big case, and now this is all they have anymore, which is really sad because they used to have like the best washers.
However, they didn't have the quality tools that they said they do.
So, I have no idea. Anyway, so what we want to do is I want you girls to pick out some of the different materials, and you have to create a piece. I don't care if it's a bracelet,
Are we doing the
if
big
it's a
one or the
pendant
little
or
one?
earrings.
Something about a unicorn.
Are we doing big ones or little ones?
Kelson, sorry, I don't speak that language, and we don't know quite exactly what you said. But we did get that there's a unicorn in there. All right.
Unicorn, no.
Yes, unicorn. I'll go ahead and throw that part away. So what you girls need to do,
Should I use these ones
listen,
or these ones?
how are you going to know? Because you keep talking over me. So are you done? Are you done? Okay, good. All right, remember what we've talked about, dude. You got to stay on task.
I know.
So you guys need to create something. Now look, I want to show you guys that there's a couple of fun things right here. Look at these flowers. So there's some flowers and there's some stars. But what's really cool, maybe these eyelets are too small. I don't know. Will that eyelet fit in there? That eyelet's a little bit small, but I've got some larger eyelets that we could use, and you can set these flowers if that's what you want to do. Plus, I also have some stars.
Ooh,
They're curved though, so it poses a new type of thing. So maybe you might have to flatten that out if you wanted to use that.
do stars.
Okay, so what you need to do is figure out what you want to make. Now, let's say we wanted to rivet
Wait.
something. Shh, nope, you wait. Hold up. No, not yet. So you guys could drill a hole in this, right, and rivet things onto this. We could also put a bead on here and kind of wire it on.
Are we going to be making these and selling these as well?
No, this is just for us for a fun challenge. Okay.
So what if you did this and like you made it into like a little pendant type thing, but you riveted a bunch of different things all around it?
You totally could do that. Now, another thing.
Like a little fun wreath
Okay.
type thing.
Okay. Now you got to keep in mind right here, I have only larger items that are, rivetable.
What is that?
But I can look and see if I've got some smaller items. And, if we need to, we can always cut out a disc with a disc cutter or anything else like that, right?
Too bad there's not like a stronger glue, but we don't use glue in jewelry.
I created
Too bad there's not, but you could like glue in little beads, like little seed beads to it.
I created
cool,
a cool thing.
You could always use string and like wrap it around it.
Well, not even string. What else could you use that would be a little more sturdy than string?
Wire?
Yes, wire.
Still, type.
Yeah.
It's jewelry string.
Yes.
I don't know which one.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Now, Kiari, here's another thing too. On yours, the stuff that you're doing right here, you could actually just open up this ring. And these rings are really hard to open. Look at that. I can't even open that with my fingers. They're very, very lightweight, but they're extremely strong. Okay.
So should I have it where they're stacked on top of each other?
Not necessarily.
Or is it too much?
I don't know.
I think I like it like that better with the...
Just with two of them? You could do that. And then what you could do is you could put a bead here on the top, right? Now, if you wanted to rivet those, these little eyelets would not work for that, right?
What's rivet mean?
Oh, what's rivet mean? We just did a whole thing of riveting.
I forgot what you said.
Okay, what does riveting mean?
It depends on like what you're doing, but it's like how you hold the things together.
Right, and a lot of times it's a cold connection, right? What is a cold connection versus a hot connection? What's the difference? One's cold, one's hot.
It is not very strong.
Not necessarily. A cold connection can be very, very strong. Nice, you made a whole rainbow.
I should make a bracelet with rainbow.
You can make a bracelet if that's what you decide, and you don't even have to use any of this stuff. Okay, no, listen. You don't have to use any of this, okay? You just have to use some of this somewhere in your piece. Yes, you have to use something.
Should I make a small bracelet or a big bracelet?
I would make a bracelet big enough for you to wear. Yes, you can use these. So we've got some different crystals that you guys can set, or not crystals, but CZs, right?
Well, what if we went with the wreath idea? We could make something slightly bigger than this even.
Okay.
And then we set
They're not
stone.
seeing you because we're on this camera here.
Here, then I'll switch it.
Okay.
we set like a stone at the base of it, and
Okay.
then we rivet some different little flower things or something onto the side of it.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then we could like pierce a hole, or even just like put a little keychain type thing and then make that into a pendant or a keychain or something.
Okay, so if you were to set a stone, how do you determine what size stone you're gonna set on this?
You have to see like how big one together.
Right,
thinking we
because
could
if we look at this, right, so where's our remote so we can zoom in a bit?
A washer that's like a bit bigger and then turn it into a keychain.
Okay, you wanna make a bigger washer?
Yeah, and then we could like set stuff onto it.
Okay, so let's look at this here real
That
quick.
makes sense.
So here is the washer that you have currently, right? Now when you say a bigger washer, what do you mean by bigger washer?
like the-
Make it
'cause,
bigger this way?
Like bigger, just like a little bit bigger than like what it is. I don't know how to.
Well, I don't know that you want too big of one, right?
Yeah, but like, I feel like this is like a good size if you wanted to make like a necklace or a pendant or something. Or like if we were to do a keychain, Carrie's dropping stuff.
Yeah, it's dropping
If
stuff.
we were to do like a keychain, I feel like if we did it like slightly bigger so that we could put a little bit more stuff onto it.
Okay, so here are the different tube settings. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 millimeter. How do you determine which one is going to fit best on that?
3, I think would work.
You think a 3 would work? Okay, but
Maybe 4.
you're making an estimated guess. How would you know for sure?
You put it on and see like what it
Okay, so you can either put it on, right? Or we have another tool, right? What is our tool called? Do you remember? What is this?
No, I don't remember what it's called. It's our alligator.
An alligator?
It's our alligator.
It's a caliper.
It's our alligator.
Okay, so show me how you would figure out how big. Well, don't tighten it, Dingaling. Okay, wait, and we're gonna zero it out. Well, don't tighten it.
I was doing it the other way and then you said don't tighten
I
it.
know. Okay, so how would you use this?
Should I have this extra purple in here?
Okay, so according to Google, the language is Portuguese from Kelson, and he says, hello, what are you going to show today besides the unicorns? Thank you, Suzanne. We just didn't have a chance to look that up. All right, so if your measurement of the width of this washer is 3.81, right, or 3.8,
Hey, Mommy.
is a 3 millimeter tube going to fit onto that?
Yeah.
Would a 4?
No.
Could you use a 4?
Yes.
Yes.
It would just be coming off the edge.
Yeah. I mean, for that matter, you could use a 5 or a 6, right?
And that might be cool to have it kind of hanging off the edge if we're going to build like a wreath stuff.
Okay, if you did it where it hung off the edge, so let's say we go for the 6 millimeter. Where's my tweezers? I can't get a hold of these. Let's say we go here for the 6 millimeter, okay? What would be the problems that we would run into when trying to
solder it.
I don't think soldering would be too difficult.
Well,
It could be.
The edges.
Okay, so one of the things that would happen is if we did this, let's zoom in just a little bit closer to this.
Will these work to pull them?
Let's see here where this camera is
I think
pointing.
like the 3 millimeter
Well,
works
these
best
are-
with it.
Okay, well hold on, maybe we can do multiples, right? So let's say we do, let's get this on the camera. Okay, so let's say we do the 6 millimeter stone, right? When we go to solder this, yes, hold on. When we go to solder this, you might actually have to put 2 pieces of solder in here because our solder will not run around the edge of our tube setting, right? So let's say, Kate, that you did this with the 6 millimeter. I'm gonna adjust where this camera is pointing because that was like way far back on this table. Ooh, sorry guys, there we go. That's a little better.
These don't work.
Okay, so let's say you did the 6, and then maybe you jump down to the 4 or even the 3.
Do like a little taper thing where you do the big one and then smaller and smaller.
Right.
Could do something like that.
Yes. Now, what would you need to keep in mind if you do something like this where you had them taper down?
You don't want them to be too close.
Correct. Why do we not want these to be too close?
Because then when you're trying to like set the stones,
I
you
made a
run
heart
into
on
each
it.
other.
Yes, you will run into each other when you try to set the stones, correct?
That was an accident, but I made a heart.
Nice. Yeah, so here's the
These
thing.
things aren't strong enough.
No.
No.
Your pliers are not strong enough?
No.
So,
You're not strong.
I don't
so
know.
Kate, you could do something like that. And actually, I don't even think I would go to the 3 millimeter. I think I'd jump down to 2.
I got
But
I don't want
by having multiple sizes, especially if we go to the 2 millimeter settings on these 2 millimeter settings can melt very, very easily, right? So I don't know, that actually doesn't look too bad. 643. Okay. So let's say you do that, or do you even like that?
I think that'd be cool.
Okay. What challenges do you think you will run into when soldering that?
Maybe that they won't solder down, or that they'll try and go to a different one or something.
Okay. Okay. Or another thing I can see happening is they move. When the solder flows, they'll go, and then you'll end up with some that are like really close to each other or something. And that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Right? If you were to go this route, what would be your first step that you need to do to prep this copper ring?
Being to put it or polish it or what? I don't know.
Okay, not necessarily polish it, but yeah, polishing it would be good if you want to have a polished surface. Okay, it's better if you, it's okay. It's better if you polish it right now than later. Why?
Because it's easier right now.
Yeah, you can actually get to it, right? And if you do that, if you go through and you polish this, one, we're gonna make sure that we've got a nice clean surface to work with, and it will be polished in between these, which will be easier for us to actually buff back up after you solder everything into place. Okay, what do you think? Is this a route that you want to go?
Sure.
Okay, now here's another thing. I know you said something about a key ring, but you and I don't really carry around many keys, right?
No.
If you were to make this a pendant, what would you do to make it so that it's a hangable pendant? And keep in mind, you can always add more elements to this.
I can't do it
You could
because
punch a
every
hole
time I do
into
it,
it.
just keeps.
Okay, we could punch a hole.
You could like,
It just keeps
don't know.
getting scratched when I.
you could
try
maybe
to do
punch
it.
a hole and
just
then
a
have that
second.
like be just where that hole is punched, and then have the jump ring go through that.
Okay. Here's another idea if you want to think about. Okay, so since we have multiple, we've got like a taper going on here. What if we had a taper? No, that one doesn't look right. Let's see. Do we have a smaller one? What if you have a taper going on that direction?
Okay.
You just see what I mean? And then you can either use a really big jump ring to connect these two together and these two together, or you could punch a hole and then put the jump ring through those. Here's another thing to think about. When you have one jump ring on something like this, they're gonna tend to flip-flop and, you know, kind of swivel around a lot. If you
One jump ring?
Yes. Let's say that you took one jump ring. You did not punch a hole, okay? Let's say that you just took this ring and you connected those two together.
And they can twist.
They twist a lot. What can you do to make it so they don't twist as much?
Stole my purple.
I did steal your purple, sorry. Hang on, I'll give it right back. I'll give it right back. What can you do to make it so it doesn't swivel as much? That's not an answer. What can you do? Sure you do. I can't get this one camera to, these two cameras are so close to each other that you zoom one in and both of them do, or you zoom one out. All right, so think about this, okay? If you've got something like this, see how easy that is to move it around and everything like that, right? No. What happens when you add a second? All of the sudden is closed up a lot of that space. Or even if we add a third, now I really cannot swivel, right?
I don't feel
So-
like that would look very nice though.
Oh, I don't know. I think it looks really good, especially if you use the right metal. So if you do this particular chain or this particular way that we're looking at right now, I'm not saying you have to, but let's say you went this way, what would you use for jump rings to connect those three rings?
Either copper or silver.
I would go silver. Your tube settings are silver. And then if you add the silver in for the jump rings, it brings that whole thing kind of cohesive and together. Does that make sense? So that's an idea. Okay. What do you think about that idea? There's your
Work.
You can have it.
Okay. Aw, thank you. All right.
Kiara's already getting to work on her stuff.
Kiara is getting to work on her stuff. So
Well,
what I want you
have a
to do,
question.
Kate, is first of all, we need you to start to work on these, right? You've got to get your rings put together so that they're nice and clean.
Should I keep this one or should I get a new one?
Let me show you a few things on these, because when you're working with this niobium, it's a little different. They're kind of hard, huh? They might even be titanium, but I'm not positive.
Should I go polish it with the other?
The flex shaft, or what?
I don't know what it's called.
Where are you talking about?
The corner.
Oh, the big polishing machine? No, I would just polish this with either the micromotor here, okay? So what I probably would do is I would sand it. What do you need to do if you are going to use, you're like off the screen. I feel like I'm talking to like
Nobody.
the pipes over here. All right, if you're going to use a flex shaft or micromotor, what do you need to do first?
Glasses and hair.
Glasses and pull your hair back. And if you're doing any kind of polishing or grinding like that, it's also good to wear a mask, right? Okay.
Where are they?
All right, so give me just a minute.
Oh, there.
There's this for you as well. Let me, so Kiari, I don't know, maybe you don't
Should
need
I
that.
keep the dented one or just get a new one?
Okay, let me show you how to work with this one. So Kiari is working with, let's see, here we are.
These things aren't strong enough. Is it out or they're just dented?
And I'm not positive because these were given to us from a friend. So I don't know if these rings are titanium or if they're niobium. But either way, they are very, very strong. Like I cannot move these fingers with my hands. Now the other part of this too, you see how this is bright pink?
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but if when I tried to do it, it took off the color.
Yes, it does take off the color. Hand me that one.
I wish I knew
And
that.
that is exactly what I wanted to talk about, because this color is only on the surface, right? So you have to be very careful on how you use these. So a lot of times what I find is very helpful if I hold it, see like that? See how much of that ring I'm holding? If I come in this way, and now I can twist them because I have more leverage on it, okay? It's still kind of hard, right?
Can I just start with a new one?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to show you on this ring how to do that. But see, now it's all nice and closed.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
but it doesn't get dented.
It does not get dented when you do it that way. All right,
I
but it's
should've
a little bit,
waited.
that's okay. You only messed up one ring, right?
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. Where's another pink ring?
Another pink.
Yeah, you're missing another pink ring. See that?
Yeah, I meant to grab that too. I wonder if
So
I
let's show them what you have here. So Kiari is making a unicorn bracelet. We're making it with rainbow, right? All right, so Kiari, let's take a look at this. You have a great thing here, okay? First of all, this is gonna be a really big bracelet, but we can turn it into a necklace
So
as well.
Should I use the small thing?
You could use the small ones. How are you going to close this? What are you going to do to close it?
What do you mean?
Well, right now it's just going to be a chain. It doesn't
I
become a necklace or a
open it.
bracelet.
And then I put the.
Hang on, they can't see you. Remember, you got to work right here so that they can see you.
The tweezers.
So I would start with the pink ring, and I would open it,
Okay.
and then I would put the red ring in, and then I would close it and open the red ring. And put
Okay,
it
but
on.
what you're telling me is how you're going to make the chain. That is great.
And then when you close it, you open it this, and then put it in,
Okay, but
and then close it.
what if it's too small for somebody's wrist? Or what if it's too big?
Then you just take off some rings.
But what if they don't know how to take off rings? And we've already figured out that they're really stiff rings.
Then
We need to create some kind of a hook or a clasp, right? Now, here's the thing I think, Kiari. I would say turn this into a necklace and we can add a chain to each side.
But I like it like
What if instead of the last one we did that?
That could work. So, well, if you wanted a bracelet, that's fine. Let's figure out, though,
I don't really
how big.
I don't really want it to have like a chain.
No.
I just want it to be like the color. We can make it like a wrap necklace.
A wrap necklace?
Yeah, like.
Where it just kind of wraps around again and again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you definitely have enough here to make a necklace. So if you would like to make a necklace, you certainly can do that.
And I'm not adding any other colors like the black, or else it ruins it.
Oh, yeah?
There's a penny in it.
Well, okay then.
I was like,
She's excited about the penny. All right, well then I'll tell you what, you need to still put together some more
I found
if
a
you
hidden
want this to
present.
be a necklace.
Do you want it?
The penny?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have you pierce it out.
Oh.
This is a 1967 penny.
Oh.
Do you know what that means?
One means it's got.
It's worth a lot?
Not really, but Kate, what does it mean?
Means it's got real copper in it.
Yeah, it's a solid copper penny.
And now they don't make solid copper.
No, I think they started.
They do not make solid. 82.
82.
Wasn't it 82?
Yeah, it was 82.
I think it's 1982.
72 or 82.
No, in 1982, they switched over from solid copper to zinc and a copper coated penny.
What do you think?
So
That's lame.
that's kind of fun. You need to figure out how you're going to connect all of that. But yeah, that'll be cool, Kate. So let's move that over here, Kate, so we can see what you're looking at.
Be really careful.
Just very carefully move it over here. Here, do it like this. Go. Oh, it ran into the bumps. I destroyed it. Sorry, dude.
We spent so much time on it.
I'm sorry. It's the bumps in the table that did it. Rotten bumps.
Yeah, the rotten bumps that you made.
Are you sure I made them? I don't know. I've had 2 girls in my studio making bumps. Is this how you had it? Here, there's some tweezers. You can fix it.
No.
That was off to the side a bit more.
Off to the
Oh my
side.
gosh.
Well, the other thing too is, so while I like where you're headed with this, there's going to be a few things that are going to give you some issues.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Trying to connect it, trying to get all of it on.
Yes. Okay. So let's say we do it the way you have this here. It looks awesome. Okay. You've got
It's all
some.
messed up right now, but
You've got some good balance and everything. So that part's kind of fun.
figure out
What?
how to attach that.
Okay. How? That's what I was going to say. How are you going to connect these 3 items together? And here's something that you need to think about. So a jump ring. Okay. Where are you going to do a jump ring?
Well, what if we did like 2 things right on the both sides of the flower, and then we did like 2 jump rings, and then they attach to 1 jump ring, and then you do another jump ring, and then put it to the next one.
So you would do a jump ring over here and then one over here, and then have it come up to 1 jump ring.
And then you would add another jump ring so that it's flat. Does that make sense? So they come to 1 jump ring, and then you do another one so that it's like that, so that it attaches.
So then it would attach to this one. Okay, so let me show you some things that are going to happen. Okay, first of all, adding a jump ring on this side of the flower and on this side of the flower is going to be difficult if you're going to try to connect those 2 with a jump ring.
Well, maybe use multiple jump rings.
You would probably have to, but then what's going to happen is this is going to be much further away because you're going to have to build a chain, essentially, right? You have to build a chain. Okay, so you have to build a chain to get up to this point. So here's something that you could do. This is going to be off to the side, right? So what we could have here is we could drill a hole and put a jump ring in just right here underneath this flower. Or
You could always solder one to it.
yes, you can solder an element like a wire or something like that that will then come up and attach to this. So it's not a jump ring.
But it's like a
like a wrapped or like a loop, an eye loop or something.
And you could even wrap it around so it looks kind of...
Yeah, you could make it so that it wraps up here like a vine. Now, if you do that, you lose that mobility. It's not going to swing. It's not going to move. You're going to lose your movement. I don't know. Do you want it to swing?
Well, what if we had it attached like that to that one and then that one's a jump ring?
What do you mean this is a jump ring?
Like you attach a jump ring like there.
Like a great big jump ring? This would have to be a jump ring this big in order to go from here to here. Just so you're aware, you're looking at a jump ring that's like that size.
I don't know. Or you could even... So what if when we do the wire here, you have it so it's like tight and like next to each other, and then it slowly gets like spread out to like right there? Like, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit tighter for a couple, and then it like loosens up.
So here's another thing that you could think about, okay? So let's say we do something in here. So maybe what we do is we make a ball, right? And it's like a ball, a rivet head, and you punch a hole here and you put that through, and that ball head is now gonna hold this flower into place. Okay, and then you wrap it around here a little bit, and then it jumps up to this one, and you wrap it around this way to this point, right? And then you can bring it onto this one up to this point.
That would work.
So your vine kind of comes over, up and around, and over and up and around here.
Would we pull the wire out through one of those little holes and then
yes.
feed it up?
No, not through the hole. Like you would actually feed it through this direction. There will be a ball on the end of your wire. You feed it through.
It's supposed to be off to the side.
Yeah, that's fine. But so what you do is as you bring it through here, then from the bottom side you wrap it around here.
How do you get it out of the flower?
Because it's only the very, very top of that wire that you see here. Does that make sense? Okay. So like, okay, so let's say that this has, pretend that there is a ball head on this wire.
Okay.
Okay. Then you would feed this through, and that ball head would stop the flower from doing anything else, right? We feed it through the hole on here.
And then you start wrapping it.
And then you wrap it here. And then once you get to a certain point here, then we jump and we come up this way.
And then would you use that wire to hold that other one in place?
So then you jump again and you wrap up this way.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that's an option. Another option is that you just solder. I don't even know if we can.
Frozen? Oh, no.
No, I don't even know that we could solder this element on. I think this is pewter.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's pewter, which means you hit this baby with a torch, it'll go, it'll just melt.
Look at that.
So this one will have to be cold connected, right? But you could rivet this one on, and then just, again, we could do that same concept where we put the rivet head here, right? It feeds through, or you can even solder it on for that matter. And it just comes up to here and you wrap around, or maybe we even do like a little vine that comes straight up the middle. You know, loops onto here and comes up here and loops onto here right in the center. Then you don't have to kind of wrap it around the rings and come up that way.
Wrapping it around would look cool though.
It might be cool. It might get a little bit lost on this particular flower since it already has texture and different shape to it.
And we could always paint the wire green.
I think I have green wire.
Well, yeah, but is it like that wire? Because we've got the stuff that we used on like the cupcake and stuff. We could paint it with that.
Yeah, but on the wire, it's not going to stay as easily because you're talking about the model paints. It's not going to stay on your wire very well. I mean, you could try it, but I don't think it'll work out quite the way you think it will.
Well, the green wire is going to be like that, so it'll be chipped off easily.
It can chip off easily, so yes, you would have to work very carefully with it.
That's why I'm kind of saying the paints afterward would be a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that. You could totally do that, right? But you have to realize that it's not going to be like super...
Like it's not going to stay on like that one.
No, it definitely won't. Okay? All right.
So when I was coming back, I tripped and fell, and I almost hit the wood, but like it was like at the carport right before you go to the wood, and my hand stopped it, and I fell.
Ow, you got a rug burn, dang it.
Yeah, and it did that.
All right, come here. Yep, you'll be okay. I think you're gonna live.
And it hurts.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Rug burns
My
always
hands
hurt.
didn't get hurt.
Okay, so Kate, first thing you need to do is you need to clean up these copper pieces. Is this where you want to go for sure?
Sure.
Is that what you want to do?
Why not?
Okay, then what you need to do is decide.
Everyone thinks we're boring today.
No, they might just be busy. I don't know. It's not the most thrilling conversation today, I don't think, right? Okay, so you need to take these copper pieces and you need to get them sanded down. Okay, get them all cleaned up, make sure that we've got a nice even surface on them. Now notice that there are two sides to this copper, right? One side has a little bit of a curved edge here, whereas the other side is a lot more like a straight edge. Do you know why?
No.
That is because when they punch it, it's like even when we cut out discs with the disc cutter, one side kind of gets that curve.
Gets a little more rounded.
Same type of thing. They've punched it out with a punch and one side gets a little more rounded.
So because there's a lot of round parts to this, do we want to do the rounded side on top?
That is totally up to you. I just wanted to point out that there is a front and a back to these, and you're going to want to pay attention to that in doing this. Okay? This is a lot. This is quite a bit, especially with this flower.
A couple weeks then.
Well, I definitely don't think we're going to finish it today, that is for sure. But I wanted to walk through that design process with you at least and kind of see what we need to consider when we're doing some of these things. The other thing you have to consider, especially if you've got this particular thing right here, is it's going to throw off the weight. Right? Because now you're going to have a heavier weight here on this side. So that's something that you always need to consider as well. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so tired today.
For this piece, we need to flatten it out, but we want to
This
flatten
one?
it out without destroying the details.
Okay, what would you do?
Would you flip it onto the other side and then have it on like something soft? Like that's not going to damage the design?
Maybe. I would actually lay it this way, probably just how it is, and I would hit it with a hammer. What kind of hammer?
A soft one.
Okay, what kind of soft hammer do we have?
I don't know. Nylon.
Yes. Yeah, I would do it with a nylon hammer. Okay, and if you feel like you're not getting the movement that you need with that, then yes, you can flip this over and do it this way. The other thing you could do is you could take a steel block and put it over it and pinch it in between two steel blocks and then come down on top of.
Or like put it on the hydraulic press.
You could do that too. I think that's a little overkill for this because they're just pewter. Now here's the other thing too. They could crack on you because these are cast items. And if they don't have their temperature right when they cast, it can make it so that it's kind of porous. Okay, so that's something to kind of consider as well. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider here, right? Now here's another thing you could do, Kate. Okay, so we have this. We've got a smaller. Where'd it go?
There goes that.
Yep, I think you should just find a new ring.
Yeah,
That
you don't
one's
even need to
disappeared.
open every ring. You can
Only
open
every other ring. Yep.
I guess so.
You could make this a flower. What would you need to do to make this a flower?
Petals.
But how would you make
Little
petals?
circles.
No, you don't even have to add anything to it.
What are you talking about then?
So you can texture this up with a hammer, correct? And then you can either use a jeweler's saw or just a file.
Nope.
And you can create little petals.
I'm good.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You can hire me.
9.
Yes, hire
I don't
Kiari.
have money to do that.
Sure you do.
Where?
Just $1.
What money?
She's cheap labor. $1?
$1 per
Get in the video.
piece.
Yes.
Still too much for me.
What?
I don't have any money.
You do too.
All of it's in college.
Whatever.
You have a
You mean you spent it all on dolls?
No, I spent $30 on dolls, okay?
Okay.
The rest of it's in
So
college.
anyway, that's something else though to think about, and that way then it doesn't quite throw off, that look of what it was that you were kind of going for. Does that make sense? How's that coming, Kiari?
I'm trying to get it closed.
Quit dropping them on the
I've
floor.
only spent $30 on dolls this month, okay?
Oh yeah?
Yes, masks are split with her birthday.
Here you go. That needs to be closed. Do you want me? I know they're hard to close, aren't they? People who do chainmail with these rings, woohoo!
I love the look of chainmail.
Chainmail can be kind of cool, and I have friends that are so talented with this. Yep, and now you're gonna hook 2 rings on there.
Oh, you got like this kit for
What?
one
It
time.
got dented.
A little bit. I think it's okay though.
You had this
There you
kit for
go.
Riley that made like.
Hold on. What you want to do? Well, okay, that works. What?
You had a piece that like, it was a little kit that you got for Riley that went like that, and it made into a little bracelet. It was really cool.
Did she ever make it?
Yeah, that's how I knew it existed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Making it one time.
Okay, so now we get to the tedious part of this, right?
Actually working on it.
Yes. So
Alright, this is where I
Kate,
leave. I'm gonna go design something in the bag.
nope, you're going to sand down your stuff.
The
So
rest of this.
this sandpaper, I don't know.
Also, this one is crap anymore. You can't even pull it off.
Yes, that happens, darn it. I had a little brush here to brush this thing off. So what I've done here is I've taken a piece of acrylic.
I'm trying to get it off.
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Please leave it alone.
Why?
Because I told you to. It's my studio.
Use it.
Okay, so we took a piece of acrylic and we glued sandpaper onto this. This one is How Was the Grit?
I don't think mine is gonna be unicorny.
Fine.
Keeps
It's
getting
320.
dented.
320 grit, so it's a very fine. It is.
Keeps getting
So what you need to do now is go ahead and get those all sanded. Would you like some help?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we got going on over
The
here.
special one is the pink, and I already got dented, and I can't do it.
Sure you can. Let's look at this. Come here.
It's really
All right, give me your order.
Pink, red, orange, yellow, green,
Okay.
blue, purple.
So sometimes these will get a little bit dented, and that's okay, honey.
Oh, look, I have.
Oh, these are so hard.
I
Sweetheart,
fingers.
don't even worry that this is difficult for you. So what color's next?
Orange.
Onto the red.
Yeah.
Okay.
And put a yellow.
So here, I will help you with this part, okay? Because this really is hard. I mean, even for me, it's not easy. Okay, what's next?
Nope.
Okay. So what's next? Get the next one ready. All right.
Do you want me
Next.
to open them?
No, I can do that too. Unless, I don't know, is it easy enough for you to open them or is it
Yeah.
hard?
It's easy for me to
It's
open
easier to open them.
them.
How's that?
Does this one go on this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
That looks not quite done yet.
How about that one?
That looks better, but I think that it still needs a little more. So if we look at this, why am I saying I think it needs a little bit more?
Because my fingers aren't dirty enough for it.
Yes, your fingers are not dirty enough. No. What am I looking for? When I look at these, what is it that I'm looking for on them to know if I'm done?
Oh, same level.
Yeah, that it's nice and even, like your surface is even.
Even without the other thing.
No, because people have done it without the other thing for ages.
know.
Here's another thing that you can do. All right, so we have some painter's tape. So what I do with the painter's tape, get a little section off for us. And I'm going to create a little handle, and then I put it on my piece, right? So now all you have to do is put it onto your surface.
See, but the other thing
And you can go around.
keeps it all level.
Yeah, well, I don't know where the other thing is, so you're gonna have to do it this
Well,
way.
there's this one, but this one's crap.
Okay, so, and Kiari, are you just gonna make this a great big long
That
chain?
doesn't work either.
Then that, you're,
Shit.
This doesn't
Yeah.
work too well either.
Ah,
well then you come up with some ideas.
How's that?
I can't do it either.
Yes, you can. Good.
How about that one?
No, why is it not? Don't ask me. Don't say, hey, do you think this is right?
Man,
Okay, Kiari. So let me show you. Do you want to try it with the smaller pliers?
Yes, I
Okay.
think that will be easier
Okay. Why would it be easier with smaller pliers?
because my hands are smaller.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's good.
I think that there's still a spot on there that's not.
This doesn't work at all.
Okay, well then go look around the studio. You know your way around the studio and you can go find something.
Yeah, but
All right, so Kiari, on yours, are you going to include anything on this chain or is it just going to be the chain?
I don't know.
Because these rings are kind of cool. We could probably even put something on there like a big old pendant or something, right? Yeah? Okay, what's next?
I know.
Oh yeah?
I'll be back one second.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, who
Did you find what you were looking for?
I was looking for the unicorns that I sought out.
Hey, look, your chain is looking pretty good.
Then I saw these.
Oh, yes. One of our ladies, one of our watchers sent these to you.
Yeah.
Okay, this would
And
be kind
if
of
you're
cool.
watching right now, thank you.
I don't know what else it is.
So I would only pick one. So maybe pull out a few different unicorns and let's see what they look like.
That one might.
Ooh, that was a cool unicorn. Look at that guy.
I can't find anything else to work with this, so
Look at this one too.
I guess I don't get an easy way to do it.
Nope, doesn't sound like it. I think we have one that looks like that.
If you try and pull this off.
Okay, so you have a number of unicorns to choose
I
from.
feel like this one would be cool
Okay.
on the chain. But then again, I don't know if it's too
If
big.
it's too big. That is kind of a big one, but maybe by the time we get the chain done. So tell you what, we'll leave all of these out for now,
Ow.
okay? And then we can look at it once you get your chain done.
Okay.
What do you think?
My leg hurts.
I know, I'm sorry, baby. All right, girls, what do you think? You guys like your ideas of where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I think we ought to do. I think we ought to go ahead and stop our video here for a minute because, well, for a minute, for today.
For a minute.
Because
We'll be
this
back
is
in
going to be the
30 minutes.
tedious part. And then, because Kate's got to go through and kind of get her stuff sanded down and polished up. And Kiari just has to fight her way through this
I
chain.
mean, you don't want to like just sit and watch us do all the boring work.
It's just not that much fun.
I think everyone should just like sit and watch.
But I think what I will do is I think I might record you guys doing it and we'll put together a little clip that then we can show next on our next episode. What do you think?
Okay.
I'll figure out how we can do that because I know you can. I just don't know how yet. So,
Maybe
What do
we
you
should put
think?
another video. Everyone watches that before they hop on here.
it's kind of hard, isn't it, Kiari? She can't even get it to move. I know, it's hard. Tell you what, you open the chains. You open the rings. I will put them, I will close them.
Wait. Before we turn it off.
Okay. But yeah, I think that this is just going to be a little bit of a long process and not much going on. And they're both hyper-focusing. All
My
right.
voice sounded terrible.
Hey, don't.
The day.
Carrie.
I kissed them.
What is
Your other
your...
unicorn.
Is this the hippocorn? What is this one?
That's the hippocorn.
What's its name?
Mama.
No, that's hippocorn.
Oh, its name is hippocorn?
Yeah.
Hippocorn.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I know it was a little slower and a little more tedious today, but hopefully you kind of get some good ideas of kind of what to think about when you're putting together a piece.
This does not look like it's doing anything.
All right. Well, we'll look at it in just a second. All right. So we will see you guys on Thursday at what time?
2 o'clock mountain.
Yeah, 2 o'clock Mountain Time.
At least she knows what time we live in.
Yes. All
I
right.
live 30 years in the future from the rest of you. Sorry.
30 years in the future. There you go. All right. Then we will see you guys on Thursday. Have